Right, a very warm welcome to Anna Maria Scaglia, Head of IR of Italgas. Let me start first of all by congratulating you for a fantastic achievement in the Europe Executive Team Survey 2020, where you achieved an overall second rank in this mid-cap category. Fantastic achievement. Share with us a little bit about what those awards and the research means to you.
Well, we highly rank II awards and research. I come from the financial community before joining Italgas, and I knew about II. Of course, as a financial analyst, it was our dream and nightmare at the same time. Here at Italgas, I think our way of thinking about those awards as researchers is really about as a mean to stimulate ourselves in improving our communication, our debate with the financial market. Represents a source of interesting idea, and it's also a way to look at others and what they're doing and try to learn from their experiences and what they bring as a value and what investors like.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We've obviously all gone through a tough year and it's still lingering somewhat. Share with us how you managed the crisis and what are the measures and actual steps that you have taken to overcome some of the challenges?
Yeah, sure. So being a regulated utilities distributing gas clearly is an advantage. Our business has been less impacted than others from the pandemic, thanks to three main factors. The regulated status I mentioned before, the important digitization effort the company has been implementing in the last few years, and a strong attention to health and safety topics, which is a part of the Italgas DNA, something we don't give up at any point in time. In terms of digitization, Italgas has been at the forefront of the industry, thanks to the ideas generated by its digital factory and the digitization program of its asset. During the pandemic, both internally and externally with all our stakeholders, our effort has been focused in maintaining a clear and transparent communication, looking first at the safety and security of all our people, and at ensuring a best-in-class service to our customers and end users. Of course, we deny the communities we operate in. This is something we didn't stop to take care of. From an IR point of view, we have kept investors updated on the expected impacts of the pandemic on our results. And we have set up a dedicated event in June last year to update the market on the potential impact of the pandemic. We believe this approach has been appreciated by our investors, which understood the fact that we were going to have some impacts, mainly in our CapEx program, and having the visibility and knowing what the company was already doing has been helpful for them.
Yeah, very good. And ESG obviously is now front and center, also driven very much by the pandemic. Share with us a little bit about your ESG journey. It's something that has been obviously going on for a number of years. What are the steps that you have taken with regards to ESG and how do you engage with investors? And certainly, what is the story in terms of alignment with investors?
Yeah, we definitely ESG is a journey. So we don't think you can consider yourself accomplished at any point in time, and you always have ways of improving. At Italgas, we have a dedicated sustainability team, and the IR team works in tandem with them on a lot of topics. Clearly, with the pandemic, there have been new challenges, but it's been also a way to highlight the strengths we have. As everyone knows, environmental issues are a major concern. But what we found when we meet investors is that the very focused ESG investors take into great account also social and governance topic. They look at the correlation with the corporate performance, they look at the correlation with the strategy, the risk controls initiative that the company has got in place, and last but not least, the management remuneration and involvement. At Italgas, the effort on ESG and improving there has been part of the strategy that the company has undertaken since 2016, when the company was separating from Snam. Our effort is bringing into two parts, we can say. One, bringing visibility to what the company was already doing, but was not disclosed to the market, and therefore the efforts were not actually visible. And second, identifying new areas of improvement. Our commitment involves all the company's operating unit. And this is very necessary because it cannot be something you define from the top, but you need to have the operating unit deeply involved and they can bring the source of new ideas or new ways to have a ESG engagement. We believe that, for example, on our side, we get ranked from several indexes or ESG houses and agencies, and this brings difference because no one values the same thing at the same way. They provide you new ideas, and as IR, of course, I can be put together with the sustainability team, the ambassador of those things internally. At the same time, they focus on different approach. There are some more environmentally focused, there are others more social focused, there are others more governance focused. So they oblige you to have a breadth of visibility on ideas and what you do on sustainability. And of course, we are also increasing as an IR team the meeting with the dedicated investor to ESG topics.
Yes, very good. You've also mentioned earlier that you've been on the sell side and also have been a portfolio manager before. So you have almost like a 360 view on investor relations now. Share with us a little bit, where do you see the trends in IR? IR is constantly, obviously, subject to regulatory changes or other macro changes. Where do you see the trends in IR in the future, and how do you think IR is responding to that?
I think there are several aspects of that. Of course, the regulation is one. And I think IRs more and more are learning how to deal with the regulation in the market, both from a, let's say, compliance point of view, and from a, what's the impact on investors and the financial community. We clearly are called to deal more with investors, which I see as a positive. Clearly, we need to ensure that all have access to the same information at the same time and therefore compliance. But these exchanges improving. On the other side, though, we see an increasing share of investors, which we call passive. That's called quant, that's called index driven. And they can have an impact both on your company from reasons that are less, related to you, but maybe an indexing, or they can have an impact which is different. However, some of those passive investors actually share views with the corporates, or engage with the corporates, for example, at the time of the AGMs, and they can have quite important roles. So you need to adapt in a way as IR to the changes in the investment community. At the same time, I don't think that those changes are negative. Actually, they bring new opportunities. And for example, in phases ahead of AGMs, you have a lot of dealing with the stewardship teams and engagement. And actually, there is a lot to learn, and actually lots of opportunities to meet the investors. You need to be flexible, but over the last 12 months, I think everyone has been learning to be flexible, and actually there are just growing opportunities.
Yeah, very good. Today is also your 1-year anniversary as an IR professional at Italgas. Well, congratulations to that. Share with us a little bit from your experience now, looking back at those last 12 months. What are the absolute must-haves for you in terms of IR tools, but also structures? And what are your tips to the IR community?
Well, I think IR has got this bridge role, right? On one side, you need to be able to bring the instances of investors, stated and not stated instances, to the management team in a broad sense, and to the corporate. At the same time, you need to have eyes for details and ability to make a strategy of the corporate understandable for the investors, and don't be lost in details that maybe are not important, but actually, simplify the message, have a clear message, make sure that the message of the corporate is actually brought to the investment community. So it's really bridge role. It's not always an easy balance, but actually it's this link between the internal and external instances, which I think makes the job very, very interesting. And the ability to think out of the box, to improve constantly your processes, your strategy, being sometime honest and understanding someone is doing things better than you and can be an opportunity for you to improve is actually something that makes job and the day by day very, very interesting and not repetitive. So I'm very happy about the choice I made. I think this is a job which has been growing of importance. At the same time, there are very different skill sets that can make you successful depending where you are and etc. But I think it's this balancing between the external and internal which makes the job for me at least very, very interesting.
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much for that. We'll switch gear now and on a lighter note, ask you a few very different questions. I hope you play along, Anna Maria. First of all, name a historic figure that you would like to meet and what would you ask them?
Well, quite a strange one, but I thought about it, and I think maybe Queen Victoria. She definitely had to deal with multitasking and delegations, so for a long period of years. So maybe that would be someone I will ask a few tips about.
How to juggle. Fantastic. And do you have a favorite band, singer, or music?
Well, I can say the best concert I've been at, which was Carlos Santana making dancing everyone. So that's
Yes.
the one I think. Not
Yeah.
being a massive music fan, I think of
Uh,
with interest.
Fantastic. And do you have a favorite quote from a movie that you use regularly?
No.
No. And which one is your favorite board game?
Oh wow, Uno,
Oh no.
which the cards.
Very good. And do you have a personal objective or perhaps a resolution for 2021?
Well, personally, I would love to go back traveling because clearly this is something that would I'm missing off from my previous life pre-COVID, but at the same time with probably more attention to certain things that I didn't consider before, like sustainability.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that if I can go back, travel means that everyone is at a better positioning than we are today. So that's something I would love to do. And if it's for work or for holidays, that's fine.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much, Anna Maria Scaglia, head of IR of Italgas. And again, congratulations on the fantastic achievement in the Europe Executive Team Survey 2020 for the second rank overall in utilities mid-cap. Thank you for the interview and all the best for the future, and hope we see each other in person in Italy at some point.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.